Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FACEIT Ignite Halo European Open. We started off the weekend with 23 teams, but after some nail-biting competition yesterday, only 12 remain for the chance to fight for the title of FACEIT Ignite champions and the lion's share of our $25,000 prize pool. My name is Freya Spiers and I will be your desk host for the duration of the day. But of course, I cannot do this job alone. Joining me is the wonderful Harry and Dan. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. Championship Sunday, the final day for all these teams to see if they can, try and get out with the W. But it's going to be a tough one for these European teams, especially with TOX around.
These are the big boy games today.
Yes.
I think that's what Foxy tweeted out. This is where it gets serious. We get the best European teams going up against the other best European teams. And of course, we have those North American teams floating around just to throw a spanner in the works as well.
Exactly. And if you guys want to tell us what you're thinking at home, make sure you are following at FACEIT Halo and using the hashtag FACEIT Ignite. Because we've been reading through some of the tweets and we want to see some of your questions for the teams as well. Because we know Harry is down on the floor talking to all the players and making sure you get your answers. But of course, we've got so much to talk about today. Coming off of yesterday, we've got down to those 12 teams. What did you make of yesterday's games, Harry?
To be fair, a lot of the teams have actually qualified here. It's been quite predictable. We knew exactly who was going to come through, especially around the top 6, top 8 margin. But even yesterday, when Demonica got 3-0'd, I was quite surprised in my opinion, because I expected to go the other way about 3-1. But because of the fact they got 3-0'd, it's a bit of a shock in my opinion. And it's nice to have a few upsets leading to the end of a Saturday. Yeah,
let's remind ourselves exactly what these teams are playing for in terms of our prize. But we've got $25,000 on the line. First place is going to be going home with $10,000. Second place, $6,000. Third place, $4,000. Fourth place, $2,500. And fifth to sixth place is $1,250. So there's a lot of money on the line for these teams. So there's going to be some fierce battles definitely going down today.
Yeah, especially with that nice prize pool. $10,000 for first for 2 days' work. Can't complain there. We'll have to see who actually takes it in the end. But it's going to be very good because I'm just curious to see how these European teams come up against not a full TOX lineup, but obviously with their 2 subs in Snutdown and Ace. I'll be curious to see how they actually work against them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still unsure as to whether anyone's going to be able to match TOX just yet, because we didn't see the full potential of really anyone yesterday. I feel like through the group stages, you're pushing yourself 75%. Now we'll start to see people at 110%, really giving it their all, because the prize money, the placements, they're all coming into hand. And the interesting thing about yesterday was Harry finally got a prediction wrong. So I'm not going to be following you at all today. Well, you prefaced
it saying that you don't generally get predictions right, which is, that's blown out of the water, isn't it? So
yeah, I get some of the teams right, just not the scoreline. Or if it is the scoreline, it's a game types where I'm just like, how on earth did you win that one? That kind of business.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at our upper bracket to see what games we have on stream today. Of course, we're going to be starting off with TOX Gaming versus Back2Classic. And the format is a little bit different today, as you can probably tell. It's a double elimination versus compared to the Swiss format that we saw yesterday. So TOX Gaming and Back2Classic to start off the day. Aspire Esports versus Usendi Gaming. Then we've got Mazer Gaming versus Improv. And finally, RBL Esports versus Tea and Crumpets, which is the name I personally love out of all of them. But obviously that is our upper bracket, so those are the teams that are coming into today the strongest, right? And I mean, TOX Gaming versus Back2Classic, the first game we're going to be talking about. It's going to be difficult for those boys from Back2Classic, right?
Yeah, very difficult indeed. I think they probably know that it's going to be a difficult task, and they're probably already considering the losers bracket run already. However, you got to go into it with your head held high and just say, look, let's take from it what we can. Let's try and learn. Let's try and watch, and let's just give it our all and not embarrass ourselves, really. It's never going to be an easy task against some of the best players in the world, but just take the experience and cherish it.
Definitely. I was going to say the second quarterfinal, Aspire versus Lucendi. That's going to be probably the closest semi-final we see. I may say RBL Esports versus Team Crumpets, but it depends how much Team Crumpets have actually practiced going into this. I assume not that much, but they've been a slight stepping stone coming into this anyway. But Lucendi are quite strong, so Aspire, even though they may most probably take it, we've got to make sure not to underestimate them.
Yeah, and let's take a look at our lower bracket games as well. Both of these are going to be best of 5, apart from the grand final, which is going to be best of 7. So obviously we've got Demonica Purple in there versus whoever loses out of one of those games. Got Stush Gaming, Hyperboom, and Revive Nation. Are there any teams that we've seen in this that you maybe didn't expect to be coming into today?
I would definitely say Demonica Purple for one especially. Maybe Stush, depending on the circumstances, but I think there's 2 teams in that winners bracket that these 4 teams do not want to play against, and I wouldn't be too surprised. But it's quite fun. I was speaking to some of the players earlier, and they were actually saying, oh, we just want improv. We just want improv. Every single one of them feel like they can take them on with ease, no problem at all, which that is a possibility, but again, they cannot underestimate or underrate them in any way, shape or form.
What about you, Dan? Are you particularly looking forward to seeing any of these teams?
I'm just happy that these teams have managed to achieve a top 12 placement. I mean, I remember when I first started competing, and like top 12, top 8 was what you really started to aim for, so you could finally like put your foot into the community. But these are some players who have achieved that before, but Demonica Purple, I think that's an excellent result for them, especially considering there's 2 Demonica teams here at the tournament, and arguably Demonica Purple was the B team, and I say that with some pretend brackets, but I think they've done pretty well, and if they can get further and get into a top 8, depending on who they get drawn with, then I'd be really happy for them if they can actually get a little bit further in the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know Harry spoke to Stush Gaming yesterday, and they were very happy that they got into the top 12, but top 8 was really what they were focusing on. Do you see them going that far?
It really does depend on who gets improv. That's literally how I see it. But you never know. Improv didn't actually do too bad against Mocket from what we saw previously. But then again, Mocket are Halo 5 players. They didn't really transfer the mechanics. It's weird, the Halo 3 players can transfer the Halo 5 mechanics, but it doesn't seem to be the same the other way around. I mentioned before that with the fundamentals, yeah, sure, fair enough, you want to make a push or trying to make an execution in some way, but you know, you can fall back on yourself and come back if you can. On Halo 3, you can't. One mistake and you're done for, and you could be given an extra 30 seconds of ball time or a flag cap or back-to-back. You just never know in that kind of circumstance.
Well, we've just been speaking about Harry, and you'll never guess who we have down on the floor for us. Let's check in with Wonderboy. Harry, what's going on down there?
You can see behind me, we have Back2Classic and TOX about to warm up. Elsewhere, we also have Lucendi taking on Aspire. That's a really good game. That's on our feature station. But first of all, hi guys. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, all good.
Very
Yeah,
fresh, back for another day of Halo?
Yeah, I think I'm ready too. We're starting to whittle down the teams now here at the FACEIT Ignite, which means, unfortunately, less people for me to talk to, but does mean we are starting to get down to the cream of the crop and hopefully some very, very close matches today.
Harry, can you talk me through the T-shirt combo, please? What's this shirt going? I like it.
It's I want this especially for you. You can't really see because of the microphone, though, the crab necklace.
Wow.
Ooh,
I like it.
And lion ring as well. Yeah.
Lovely.
I don't have a championship ring to put on, but went for the lion instead.
Damn, he looks really good, doesn't he?
Yeah, very dapper. I
I'm
love
so
it, Harry.
jealous.
I mean, we were just talking about some of the matches yesterday. What has been your take of some of the teams that are coming into today?
So you guys were talking about some teams potentially wanting improv. After what I saw yesterday, I think improv were one of the teams that impressed me the most. Obviously, coming into this, no one really expected them to make it to Sunday, but here they are. They're in a fighting chance, and I think they're the team to look out for. Obviously, you have TOX, Aspire, Lucendi. These guys, Mazer versus Aspire is a potential matchup we might see in the lower bracket later on today. But for me, improv impressed me the most out of yesterday.
Well, we're going to be focusing on TOX mostly up here for our first game. But are there any other games that you want to pick up on that have got some really good storylines going on?
For me, again, that feature station match on Station 2, we might be able to jump into it. It's Aspire versus Lucendi. It's a bit of an interesting one because for me, Lucendi are one of those sleeper teams. They've made it into the winners bracket today on Sunday. Yesterday, Aspire not looking so hot. Looked a little bit out of practice, potentially a little bit sluggish in some of the games against teams that they potentially should have beaten with ease. So for me, that's one that hopefully after this series, Back2Classic and TOX behind me, we maybe can jump into the feature station and see the end of that one.
Well, thank you very much for that, Harry. I'm sure we will be checking in with you as the day progresses. And make sure you're sending him the questions on #FACEIT Ignite. But, I mean, he was talking about Aspire there. It's one of the teams that we saw speaking to Harry after their game. Is that a team that you have high hopes for coming into today?
I would say yes, depending on the amount of practice they put in, including their coach. I mentioned it yesterday, but they got 4 out of 5 IGLs and tacticians. That should be the most methodical team here this weekend by an absolute mile, even maybe as much as TOX in terms of their work ethic. But it's work ethic which is key. That's what makes TOX who they are today. Not just a slaying power, anything like that. It all contributes to that work ethic. But have Aspire actually done their homework? Have they made sure to kind of, express what they can do with the knowledge, with the wealth of knowledge they actually have? And that's one of the downfalls or the cons I did mention before, is the fact that the slaying power will be, a little bit lower compared to everyone else, and also they will be a bit sluggish, like Harry mentioned there, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
What are you expecting from them, Dan?
I mean, Harry talks about this slaying power, lack of slaying power there of Aspire, but Riots is there. I mean, Riots is...
he's still a great player.
He's 6'9", so he's just one of the biggest men in the room anyway. But the slaying power that he offers is incredible. And I think that Mark touched on it yesterday as well. Jimbo used to be a big slayer back in the day, but of course he transitioned depending on teams. And we've seen 2 Foxy pick up decent kills. We've seen Flux pick up kills as well. I think there's plenty of slaying power there, if I'm completely honest. I think you've got to put yourself in a different position maybe than you're used to, and I think Jimbo stepped up yesterday as a slayer. If he can do that today alongside Riot, I think there's plenty of slaying potential there. I think they have the ability to get to a grand final, but it's just going to be about whether they can actually gel and mush on the day, and whether they've got the strategy right, as he says.
That's very true, but the difference is with them slaying power, yes, you're fair enough, they may be a little bit more passive than other teams, but I'm comparing them more to RBL esports. They're very aggressive. I like to execute as quick as possible. So if they see a slight open, they'll go for it, without any hesitation. And that's the thing with his team. Yeah, sure, he's absolutely right. They have the slaying power, but if you're being quite passive and methodical, it's just not going to work. And we know each of these players can do it. When you mentioned Jimbo, for example, he is probably the best slayer on that team. But after he was with RBL esports for about a year, I think he kind of realised that he's not as much of a good slayer compared to the rest of them because he's not as aggressive. But now he's with a team that's a bit more passive. It's more his style on how he actually goes for those flanks and, tries to get the doubles on the multi-kills and trying to get that nice KD afterwards. But then again, it can't just be one person. That's why I'm hoping their strategic side may help him in some way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were speaking to Jimbo. He was almost up on the desk. His teammates went to go get lunch without him, so he wasn't going to be hanging around long. But let's take a look at our first matchup that we're going to be focused on. It is, of course, TOX Gaming versus Back2Classic. We've been discussing this one. It's not going to be as close fought as one might hope, right?
If Back2Classic can get a map, then that's something they could be very proud of. And it's possible. We've seen European teams take maps off some of the best North American teams in the world when they're having an off game, or if it's early in the day and they're just warming up. Well, it's early in the day, they're warming up. TOX have just not long arrived, actually, so they're not going to have as much warm-up time as Back2Classic have, so there's always that off opportunity that you might be able to grab a map off them early, but I can't see them taking this series.
Yeah.
It would be amazing if they did, don't get me wrong, but I can't see it happening.
The sandals. I've said nothing but good things, but not stop talking about them. I told you yesterday, I play my matchmaking at 9 AM, 4 AM, 6 PM, and it seems like even now, an offline event, I haven't stopped talking about it. It's just always here all the time, which is great, but I love people who grind. I can understand putting 3-4 hours a day, but when you're putting in 12 hours, it sounds strange, but I love that. That's what you need. That's when people play 3 or 4 hours a day and they come to an offline environment, especially if they've not been to too many events, then they kind of change the way they play a little bit because they're a little bit scared of what they normally do. But because you've played so much in such a long space of time, even if those nerves come into play or the atmosphere may affect you in some way, anything or everything you do is so natural, you don't really think about it too much.
No, exactly. I mean, we were speaking to Monica Purple after their loss against TOX Gaming yesterday, and it didn't really deter them too much, right? They weren't expecting to go into it. I can't remember exactly who we were speaking to, but he got a decent number of kills, so he was just very happy about that. It's time to practice against some really top-tier competition.
It's about just appreciating the fact you're playing some of the best players in the world. I said it yesterday and I'll reiterate it now. You're not going to get this opportunity very often. You may never get this opportunity ever again. We might not have another Halo 3 tournament in Europe where a North American team comes across. So use it as a souvenir, if anything, and just enjoy yourselves, because that's why we're all here at the end of the day. We enjoy playing video games. We enjoy playing them competitively. So when you play against the best in the world, it's a chance to have fun.
Right, exactly. And let's take a look at what exact maps they're going to be facing each other on for our first game of the day. Of course, we've got Capture the Flag, Narrows, Amplified Slayer, got Guardian Ball, Heretic, Capture the Flag, and of course Construct Slayer, if it goes that full length, which judging by our conversations, we're not expecting it to go the full mile, right?
No, I don't even think it's going to go to Heretic CT. I think all three of us can agree here, especially when you've got Narrow CTF and Snipedowns on the team. Now, it wasn't one of their best game types for TOX, but now Snipedowns on the team. I mentioned yesterday that those two players, Snipedowns and Ace, there may be some weaker game types TOX have, which will go from the weakest to maybe kind of in the middle purgatory kind of area, so at least it helps them improve on it a little bit more. Slayer is probably the only opportunity where it will go to a game 4, but it's all based on game sense, reactions, like, you know, how good your awareness is to the spawn grids as soon as something happens, depending on where you're standing. And even then, I think TOX will topple them 3-0. It's very hard to say if they will even take a map at this stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there could have been any maps that could have been on the screen there where I would have said, okay, there's a chance for Back2Classic here. I mean, there's like Amplified TS, that's probably your only crazy map that you never really know what's going to happen, but there were some very structured maps there, like Guardian Oddball, I mean, Narrow's Flag, it's going to be so tough for them. But I mean, I'm excited because you never know what might happen. You never know, one player might step up and show what he's made of.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were speaking about it yesterday, talking about TOX switching out 2 players. We've got Ace and Snipedowns coming in, and you were saying that it's not the players that they're exchanging it for it's working out, right? Because you're bringing in the same similar type of players. Is that what we've seen from yesterday's games?
I don't think we've seen enough yet. You know, compared to the teams they're playing against, I think I'd have to wait for them to play against RBL Esports or Aspire or maybe even Team Crumpets, one of those teams, to really see how good this team is with Ace and Snipedowns in comparison to Royal 2 and Lethal. But the problem is, like, Royal 2 is a very, very good slayer, so strong, but Snipedowns, it's a tough role to fill, but out of anyone to fill it, I'm sure he will as well, especially as a dedicated sniper. And Ace is a very good replacement for Lethal as well. He's a good all-rounder, he does everything that needs to be done, but he's a very good slayer as well on top of it, so it just makes matters worse for the rest of these teams. But I don't think we'll see the real TOX until, you know, I might even say to the winners' finals.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sort of shows the caliber of teams, the total difference between some of the EU teams versus some of these NA teams. But just speaking about Back2Classic briefly, I know you've touched on it, Harry. Is there anybody that you're particularly looking forward to seeing step into the server down?
Honestly, I just think that none of them should be focusing on themselves as individuals. They should just be working on enjoying themselves as a team and just saying, like, let's look at this opportunity to watch TOX, see where they're good in what certain areas they're achieving good things in certain maps, because they can learn from that and take that into the lower bracket if they were to lose. I'm predicting they are going to lose. I'm not going to beat around the bush. But if they can then go into the lower bracket and say, okay, so when we're playing future teams, TOX did this to us. Let's try and replicate that and try and learn on the fly. Because you can do that. Everyone now has played Halo 3 enough where you know the basics, you know the core mechanics. If you can then copy and repeat things, then you might be successful through the loser bracket run. So I'd like to see them just try and focus on that rather than just focus on themselves.
Well, I know we've just been briefly talking about the maps, but we showed the maps for a different part of the brackets. Let's take a relook at those ones to see what maps we will actually be facing on. Does this make any differences for you guys coming into this game?
No, it doesn't.
No.
To make it worse?
There is Amplified Slayer there as Game 5, but it's going to be tough to get there. Onslaught capture the flag. I think that actually does make things worse because that's a perfect opportunity for TOX to warm up again, arriving here a little bit late this morning. So I'm thinking this is probably still going to be a 3-0, yeah.
If they enjoy being suffocated and pressured, Onslaught Flag is the map for them, you know. I saw TOX play it very briefly against the Monaco Pebble yesterday, and they barely got past the halfway mark. The only kills they got is the fact that, you know, they managed to focus on one person, but then again, they were always 3 or 4 down consistently. The only thing that I can say to the guys is the fact that when you're on spawn and it's 100% guarantee, it will be, no doubt about it, it's the fact that on spawn, focus on one person in particular. Whoever's first on death screen, call it out and make sure you take that one person down, even if they get that cap, because TOX are the kind of team who will get back-to-back caps and just 5-0 you just like that. And I was saying as well about Narrow's Flag, how it could be one of their slightly better game types from low tier to now that middle ground now. Go from Narrow CTF to Narrow Slayer, so it's not really too much different, and Construct Hill, one of the most structured game types on the circuit. It's going to be a bit of a problem still.
Well, we've had a good chat down here, but I think it's time to check in with our casters over on the casting desk to see exactly what they're thinking. Gentlemen, how are you doing this morning?
I'm really good. How are you, Tom?
Oh,
You did the Royal Wave. You're officially now in England.
I am.
This is what I'm teaching, Tom. It's all about that. That's how we say hello in England.
It took me a while. It was what we're doing the entire time you guys were talking.
The wave with the other.
I'm mad I don't have crumpets yet. Where do I find the crumpets?
I'll sort you out. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really good. Thank you, Freya. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. It's been a great day so far. We've had some great conversations down here. What are you guys making of this game? I know it's been a bit of a TOX wash down here.
I think TOX is feeling a little cocky. I saw them eating breakfast, and now all of a sudden they're just like, you know, we'll show up right when we have to play. I'm like, wow, you guys are crazy. But, you know, I guess they're in it for the long haul. They're expecting to be in the finals, so maybe they wanted to get some extra rest or didn't want to get too worn out and save some energy. They're probably looking at this team and they're like, yeah, we probably got this. If it was another team, one of these top teams that we're looking at, like Spiers been talked about a lot, then maybe they'd be here a little bit earlier warming up. So.
I think I'd agree. I think they've kind of earned the right to be, you know, in the position they are at the moment with their performances yesterday. They were obviously incredibly dominant. There was no one that really challenged them whatsoever. And I think it is going to be a similar story first thing up this morning. They'll use this series to kind of get a little bit warmed up, get those shots on, and I'd expect a 3-0.
Well, that's exactly what we've been saying down here. So let's jump into this game number 1 of the day.
Thank you very much, Freya, and it is time to get into our first game. Tom, good morning once
morning.
again. Great to have you here as always.
Yes, glad to be here.
And welcome to everyone at home as well. And we are, of course, going to have Back2Classic being the next people to try and take on TOX Gaming to maybe chip away a little bit of that armour for some of the teams a little bit later on in the tournament. Maybe I am expecting this to be a fairly convincing 3-0 like we previously mentioned, but there is the opportunity once again, maybe for a game to be taken, maybe it's for the TOX to be pushed a little bit further than they might have wanted to.
Yeah, and you're looking at TOX right there. You see Aaron with no sleep on his shirt. I know that man got sleep. I just talked to him while we were eating breakfast. So, you know, with these guys, Onslaught Flag, it's such a tough game 1 to go against them with. Even if, you know, you go and get a cap, they realize just they're going to give that cap up. They're going to go get top center control. And we noticed yesterday, you saw APG and Ace working the objective together. That's what I'm starting to notice. Snakebite, Snipe down, they kind of seem to be slaying out, but what's scary is everybody can go and do certain things on this team, and Ace switching up the strategy here. It looks like he's going to go A side instead of B side. Typically what you do is you go on the side that you spawn on, so he must have spawned on the left side, already 2 dead here, 3 dead, and a flag already being pulled. I mean, we're 15 seconds in the game, and this is already looking great for TOX.
Yeah, this is a perfect start here from TOX. As you say, flag already on the move. Poinsy here, trying to put some shots on that flag carrier, but that might be the quickest flag that we've seen so far to this tournament, excuse me. And there has been some quick ones. And the worrying thing here for Back2Classic is as soon as that flag went in, well, the other one's moving as well. This could be 2 within the first minute. Tom, this could be a quick game.
Yeah, we're not at the zoo, but Goose Alert is definitely in our future, I would say for sure. You got to be careful. You got to get some kills. You got to try to just clear out your base. That's the most important thing. APG, he's at his own base. Ace just secured the cap, so now they got the slays out that they need for Back2Classic. It's your time to go and get into the enemy base here. That's exactly what Boinsy's doing. I like that push right there, pushing on over towards the dumpster. He's going to have to deal with Snipe down over there, but he ends up picking up a double kill, so you can see Boinsy with a great flank, buying his team some time here. They have to clear Ace out of his base. He's underneath with a Mauler, which is a very deadly combination. So he's just going to try to stay alive as long as possible, wait for APG to come with the help. And APG's helping across the map, which is great to see. Taking angles where he's being able to regenerate his shields. Ace finds one, Snipe down, finds another. And Boinsy's still at the base. Really great spawn for him. But he's just not able to string together enough kills as the firepower from TOX is just too strong. They rarely make mistakes. They rarely miss their shots. Just so hard to deal with an Onslaught CTF.
They really are just putting the pressure on at the moment. You can see the last player alive is going to be in a 1v1 versus Snipe Down. It was a 1v1 momentarily that Snipe Down did win, but off the respawn that player managed to clean it up. But APG looking to move the objective almost immediately. And this is one thing that I've always praised, you know, the likes of TOX for. Yes, they're playing a team which we have to say, they aren't on their skill level. They aren't one of the best teams in the world, one of the greatest teams probably that we've ever seen in Halo, with some of the greatest players that we've ever seen in Halo. But it doesn't matter, they don't take their foot off the gas at any point, and that's a testament to their mentality, Tom, that winning mentality. They never want to make, you know, make themselves look weak in any sort of aspect of their game.
First flagpole here in points. He's definitely been the MVP for Back2Classic in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. I think he has more kills than his entire team combined right now based on what I've seen in the kill feed. And that flag was looking good, but it ends up getting stopped. And what do you know? APG's at your base, most likely getting the return right now from up top. You have multiple players chucking grenades at you from their base. Top center, bottom center. They're running the flag as well. Ace is looking for more kills here, as this one's just going to be tossed up into the window. Ace most likely going to get his shields here as he just goes in, puts that one in. 4th cap, 3 minutes into this game. That's a great pace so far. Ace trying to regain his shields as he's just holding the box side of his base. Multiple players charging over from A and bottom center area, but what you'll notice is Snakebite here, last guy live, he's just going to try to stay alive here. Stay bottom center. This is a great spot to be as you're the last guy live, because as they run the flag, they have to deal with you as you're shooting them and they're tossing it out. And those are free shots. Usually you can take that guy down to no shield. So perfect position there for Snakebite as he cleans up another player here. And Boinsy, he's in the kill feed consistently for Back2Classic. The rest of his team's going to have to step it up here.
And Snakebite did a phenomenal job to stay alive. On the opposite side of that, Back2Classic maybe could have done a better job of really pushing that final kill there, having got that 3 dead, to really try and put the pressure onto the base here of TOX Gaming. However, TOX do what they do best. That's clear out their base, get a 4 dead, and now they have that perfect setup for this final flag to run in. It will be running in. Boinsy does do a good job to slow down the flag cap, but I think that someone must be in position here for TOX Gaming. It'll be sniped down. He puts that one in, and that is a convincing 5-0 win on Onslaught. Capture the flag. Good morning, TOX Gaming.
Yeah, very fast game there, as expected. One of the best game types for TOX. They just excel so well in being able to rotate and spawn trap there, and there's not much that you can do if you're Back2Classic. Really great game from Boinsy. He did his best. I believe he even went positive, which is absolutely insane when you go and look at how much time he had to live. There was so much pressure coming in from the TOX side, and there's the stats right there. +1 coming in from Boinsy. Everybody going positive on the TOX side. 3 caps coming in for Ace, so...
We were initially a little bit nervous about the Goose Watch, but that kind of got put to bed quite quickly after that.
15 kills from Boinsy's team. 25 total, right? He had 10 of them, I believe. So everyone else, you know, is going to have to kind of get on Boinsy's pace, because that's just a slaughter, and to go positive is really great for his side. So he had a 4 spree. That was the time that he made his rotation over there. Really great job by him, honestly, because when you look at the sprees, 5 for Ace, 4. He was tied for second best spree. So if anything, Boinsy needs to, you know, kind of get these guys going and say, hey, let's go, guys. We can hang. Look at what I just did. I just went +1. I know that that was tough to get out of there, but just don't be flustered. Don't get down on yourself, because even if you get a cap or 2, that's still some momentum that you can build on from this next series. You're most likely not going to win this series. You have a 1% chance of winning this series, probably even less than that. But if you can build off something, get some momentum going, put up a better scoreline than these other teams have, then other teams are going to look at this and be like, wow, they actually, you know, got 45 kills. They got 40 kills in that narrow Slayer.
It's an example of humanizing TOX a little bit. I think that's one thing that, as we have some replays from that first game coming in, but one thing that European teams struggled with back at the start of Halo 5 was kind of, you know, you got into that lobby, you started the game, and you were like, oh my god, I'm playing against XY, you know, I'm playing against Royal 2, I'm playing against Snakebite, these huge names. And it was why I was such a big advocate of, you know, making that trip out to the States, getting used to the fact that at the end of the day, it's 4 human beings that sat behind those controllers. Yes, they're incredibly talented, but they're doing the same things you are. They don't have some sort of crazy advantage. Yeah, exactly. They go to breakfast at the same time as you, maybe a little bit later if you're TOX Gaming, but you know, they do the same things as everyone else. They don't have any crazy advantage, like I say, and as soon as you sort of flip that switch in your head, you're like, oh, okay, I'm up shots against this player. I'm going to challenge him. Just because he's named Snipedown, it doesn't make a difference, so to speak. So it's one of those little mentality things, and I think you're right. Boinsy might be able to just reach across and go, hey, absolutely destroyed that guy in that 1v1. You guys can do that as well. If you get the advantage, challenge him. Win that battle.
He was doing solid. I saw some really good things from him. He was sneaking around. He was the only person to be able to infiltrate the base and help that flag run get past the 50-yard line. It got about 80% there, so we're going to jump on board with Snipedown. Can we just talk about how good the player cams look? I mean, I know Snipedown's a handsome man, but
it gets more handsome every event. Me and Andy have this thing, me and Bravo. It's like every single time you see Snipedown, he seems to just be a little... Jeez.
Nice little quick scope there on the little sandal. APG takes out Boinsy. They most likely have rockets as well, and this is not going to be looking good. All 4 dead. Snipedown's probably going to rotate to the flag here and try to pick some people off, but he does have Ace L2. One player did spawn flag, pushes his way down towards bottom middle. That's going to be Little Sandal. That means everybody else has rotated into the lobby, and that's where they're watching.
That's a great job from Little Sandal, though.
I mean, fantastic job, and Snipedown has to be frustrated there to lose the sniper rifle. As a couple rockets coming in from APG. Nice job from Ferocity to be able to get that kill. And it's not how you want to start there. You don't want to have to give up rockets and sniper rifle, but if you can try to get the rockets out of their hands, kill Snipedown with the sniper rifle, yeah, Snakebite's fantastic with the sniper rifle, don't get me wrong, but taking out of Snipedown's hands is just a minor win.
And one problem is that Snakebite did manage to get hold of the other sniper rifle, so this is actually Back2Classic sniper, and I'm not sure if they managed to pick up that sniper off of the body of Snipedown once he was taken down. You see Snakebite, he's just got such an easy job at the moment, because everyone that he's aiming at, A, not looking at him, and B, they're already weak. They've had a couple of shots, so it doesn't have to nail that headshot. Just has to hit the body to pick up the kill, and now it's 16-5, and Snakebite, you can see, perfect bait in front of him, APG and Ace, and APG, I still have that feeling, he's one of the best players at baiting himself that we have in Halo 3.
One player taking down a no shield. Snipe Down has the sniper rifle on his side. Snakebite has the sniper rifle on the other side, and that's 2 dead coming in. You can see Snakebite just tried to flank inside the base right there, which is a really smart play as you're running out of ammo. You can try to get these guys to bait themselves for Snipe Down, who's top center. Boinsy finding a kill onto APG. 2 shots left, so he just ends up taking a couple of them as Ace going for the nice little quick scope there. Maybe going for some montage clips, as everyone knows Ace loves the clips. Snakebite, he's going to try to do a little top center push, which works out very well as APG pushes down low. I like that play. But Boinsy, every time you see him, he's up to something. I'm not sure if he has any ammo left in that sniper rifle, though, unfortunately. If so, it's only 1 more shot. So they're going to have to set up here as the new sniper rifle popping up in about 20 seconds. You know that's going to be an area for contention. You do not want to give up your base right here. This will be the worst time, because if they get control of your base plus the sniper rifle, that means they're going to get rockets as well.
Yeah, easy stuff for TOX Gaming. If they can pull off this push, then things are going to be looking pretty good. You can see Boinsy again managing to get a trade, and Sandal picking up a kill as well at an important time. So that's going to be 2 dead here for TOX Gaming, and that could be 3 dead momentarily. Snipe Down now going to come under pressure with that sniper rifle in his hands. But smart play, veteran play once again, backing up, allowing Ace to come off that respawn, then push top mid, and again, just bait himself, just shoulder peek around those corners, put some shots on, and just make Snipe Down's life a little bit easier as those players pop up top mid.
Surprised he doesn't go power up here to try to get an angle on the rockets. There's a nice little snipe coming in from Sandal. The double kill coming in, looking for the triple. Oh, it gets stolen. Boinsy, come on, man. We're going for clips here. That could have been an overkill over on Ace over there, as he does get taken down to no shields. The nade is going to look good, but Ace doing a nice job of jumping up. Another nade is going to come in. Nice body shot right there on the Snipe Down. Snakebite, he's stuck in the back of the base, and look at this. What? They are human.
I tell you what, this has been incredible stuff from Sandal too. Give this man the sniper rifle from now on. APG tries to challenge him there, and that was just millimeters away from removing part of his visor and putting him back into the respawn screen. But now Snipe Down finally gets his hands back onto that sniper rifle himself. 2 kills to just slow down that little bit of momentum there. But Back2Classic, a little bit of a highlight reel there from Sandal too. That's going to make him feel good.
That's exactly what they needed. They need to realize that they're going against players that have the same controllers in their hands. I mean, like we said, they're human. They can make mistakes. They're not going to make many of them, and that's why you have to punish on certain areas. And we saw a couple of over challenges there. We saw them splitting up, maybe getting a little bit cocky. Snipe Down with a nice headshot there. But, you know, 31 kills compared to getting 5-0'd so fast. This is a great time for Classic to be gaining momentum, gaining some confidence, and that's really all you're looking for here. And just something as small as that spree could really carry over into the rest of their games for the remainder of the tournament. So you love to see that coming in from the EU boys, as Snakebite finding a double kill, and this is when they start to add the pressure on. The spree was nice while it lasted, but as soon as they gave up map control over towards top center, and as soon as the Snipe Down gets that sniper rifle in his hands, it's going to be curtains for these guys as APG, he's infiltrated the base over towards the back flag, and it's just 1 more kill here for TOX.
Yeah, it's going to be Boinsy, the man who seemed to be the catalyst, who gets taken down for that final kill. TOX do manage to close it out, but some good signs there for Back2Classic.
Totally.
As you say, nice sprees, nice little headshots, nice snipes coming in. And you can see, I think that's just woken them up a little bit there, TOX Gaming. You can see a little bit of a lean back there from Snakebite. He's like, dude, I got blamed a couple of times in that one. Like, what just happened there? I wanted the 3-0. I wanted this to be easy.
They definitely were trapped in their lobby. I mean, you had sniper rifles inside the pockets. APG just did a great job of coming up over towards his L1 and putting pressure on the pocket, and then another player flanked over towards L0, and that's what they needed to get the pressure off. Taking a look at the stats, again, just fantastic job from everybody involved here on the TOX Gaming side. Snakebite standing out with 16 and 6 overall. Positive 10, that's a great stat line. I believe they won that game by around like 18 kills or so, so that positive 10 really making a huge difference there. The nice assists coming in from APG and Ace as well.
I was going to say, if you look at the composition of this as well, when you go back to the game, Snakebite and Snipe Down, they were controlling those sniper rifles for the majority of the game, so huge props to APG and Ace. Yes, they have more deaths. They still managed to go positive, but the assists column just shows how well that they were baiting themselves.
Boinsy positive again. Positive 1 in the previous game, positive 1 here as well. And when you're losing that badly, going positive is a great sign. So again, really impressed with the way Boinsy's been able to play. The rest of these guys just need to pick it up a little bit more. Hopefully that spree gives them confidence. You saw Sandal had a fantastic little killing spree. They had, I think, 2 killing sprees throughout that time. And I know Snakebite got one of the killjoys. So 50-33, not quite the score that they were looking for. I was hoping that they'd maybe be able to put up 40. That's a little bit closer. But Construct King of the Hill, another one of those just lockdown game types here. It's going to be very tough to do anything. But if they were able to take any notes from the previous games that we saw yesterday, they got to know that APG is going to be the guy that goes for that bottom center hill, They milked, I believe, 71 seconds on that first hill that we saw. As we take a look at some of these highlights, hopefully we can get some of the Back2Classic boys in there because they did have some nice moments there. Getting that kill right there onto APG was huge. I know they had another player to go and clean that up, but anytime that you are in a situation where you don't have the sniper rifles and you don't have the rockets, those are the priority kills on the map that you need to look for. And if you're doing it with just BRs and you're doing it while you're on the back foot inside your lobby, that's a great sign for these guys. So a lot of the pressure that they're going to be dealing with from other teams isn't going to be nearly as fast paced. And this is the little spree that we saw there, almost a triple kill. Yes, they turned it back over, but it was 39-30. It could have been anyone's game at this point, but unfortunately they didn't send anyone over the man cannon. I didn't see any people trying to go and flank. Going down by yourself right there is not the play. Multiple players stuck in their lobby, and that's what I'm talking about. Here is where you man cannon over. There's no reason to go and just charge into the lobby one by one with grenades. Slow the game down a little bit, make them find you, make them split up. It's just like when someone pulls the flag. It creates a little bit of a disturbance within the communication. And if you just say 3 guys coming into the lobby, that makes things fairly easy there. So I would love to see them just utilize their man cannon a little bit more as we hop on board the Snakebite.
Yeah, let's see what TOX can do off the rip here and see if they can get that incredible control of the bottom mid-hill that we saw in the game earlier. And Snakebite doesn't actually catch that player coming off the lift there, and that's one of the problems sometimes with stream watching. You look away for just a second, someone nips up that purple lift and makes you pay for it, but 7-0 off the start. Snipe down, veteran play here, lifts up behind, doesn't quite get the 2-shot melee. Does manage to, I think it's actually Snakebite who comes in to finish off that kill, and Snakebite should get the double here, and does. Onto Fatal Ferocity, but you can see Boinsey now, once again, position himself well, and getting control of R1, and that's what you want to do, keep those spawns locked down on this bottom hill.
Lived as long as he could. Snakebite, though, was on top of it. Sandal with the rocket just a little bit too late. And I love to see this. Getting in the hill, not being scared. You're going to have to win this fight, though. It's a huge fight. And now just back off. Look out. The nade's going to come. Got to back off a little bit more because he has 2. Now someone needs to get up in there and help with that. Get in the chick spot. See, he died with a nade there. That's a big mistake. He could have backed off, naded some more. That could have bought them maybe 5 to 10 more seconds. Everybody's down low. Just something as small as that, over challenging when there's multiple people down there, not backing up to the very back of the hill and conserving a nade. Those are the mistakes that I'm talking about that players like TOX aren't making and players like Back2Classic are doing. And it's just something about an overcommitment or a positioning error. It's not about your shot. It's not about these players being just insanely sick and you're not up to their level. It's just
percentages.
It's playing patient and not being flustered and realizing what it's like to have to play against these really, really high-level players.
One thing that's impressed me so far is the fact that Back2Classic have not allowed TOX Gaming to have that comfortable start here. You can see the score, 33 and rising to 24. It has kind of been split at the moment as we do see Snakebite picking up a triple kill there. We can catch it ourselves, we caught the medals. And now APG picking up a kill here, and you can see what's happening right now. Snakebite looking to lock down these top gold spawns, maybe looking for those spawns back gold as well.
Yep.
As the hill moves, as the OS is going to come up, and you can see it looks like APG, Snakebite and TOX Gaming are looking to hold top control, maybe rather than going for that overshield. Not sure if anyone from TOX is sort of committed to go down low for that and fight for it themselves.
Boinsey finding another kill in an extremely tough spot. Overshield was burned throughout all of that. 2 dead on the side of Back2Classic, and you got to try to get over towards R1 and Sword here so you can spawn your teammates. Important kill to find onto APG. Sandal's going to do so. Now you got to get this guy out of the hill as well. Nice teamwork coming in. Ace is taken out. That's going to be 3 dead here. Great opportunity to try to get these guys out of there, but Snakebite's still stuck over towards the gold side and unfortunately gets taken out. If they're able to get a little bit extra help just a second or 2 sooner, that's a completely different story. Now everyone's gold, everyone's dying individually. Again, very minor mistakes coming in 2 times here that have bought about 30 to 40 seconds for TOX Gaming.
Snakebite getting that kill as well has allowed his teammates to spawn a gold, which is such a huge thing there. You know, you can put pressure on as APG comes up and wins that beatdown. That could have been a huge kill there. Again, I like the positioning. I like a lot of things that I am seeing from Back2Classic. As you say, Tom, it's those minute mistakes that are making the difference at the moment. They now lift up to close lift again.
The shots look good, the strafe looks good, everything's looking solid. They're just a little bit slow to react on the spawns and a little bit slow to work on the objective together. A Boinsey, again, it's not something that you see. TOX is such a good team that they made a Killing Frenzy coming in for Snakebite, but the Killjoy from Boinzy is absolutely huge, and now I like this push right here. Chuck a couple grenades, go over there, choke the spawns, double kill coming in. He needs to find the triple kill. This could be huge, and he doesn't challenge it there, and someone else needs to push here. They cannot afford to let them spawn over there. Can't hide inside the purples. Now everyone's going to be stuck on over towards this lift area. The rocket guy in the hill, another mistake that is just being made. APG finds 3 kills as the last guy alive. Just not acceptable. It's obviously moving. The hill has just moved right there. Customs coming up, but that's a crucial time that you could have locked all of TOX down. You could have had rockets. You could have milked the hill for about 10 more seconds. I mean, just these 3 minor mistakes that we're looking at, we could be looking at Back2Classic honestly winning this game right now. That's how well they're playing.
And so something that I did preach a lot about Construct here was the importance of getting that final kill at gold as well. And that's 2 perfect examples we've just seen there. The first one was Snakebite. He managed to stay alive, get those 3 spawns at top gold for his team, and then they were able to fight for the hill because you have that vision, you have that line of sight onto the hill on the street. And the second time around there, APG, as last man alive, you cannot allow a player to pick up 3 kills because it completely changes the context of the map. They get that player out the hill, they get those kills. You need to collapse. You need to collapse and then rotate back. You need to, even if you trade that kill, it's absolutely fine because then you have all of those players from TOX Gaming coming off the respawn simultaneously and you can lock it down, you can lock the map down.
Ferocity falling there from R1, that's a huge mistake as well. Nice shots coming in from Open HCS 142. No one knows who that is.
He's unknown.
He's unknown.
He's the ghost man.
He's the ghost man. I love to see it. Sandal with nice shots and nice positioning, locking down Snipe down over towards the C2 area. Now you got to spawn your teammates into the lobby. If he jumps in the lobby, everyone's going to spawn over there right now. Not sure where they're going to actually be, but one other player is R1 as well. Snakebite with the sniper rifle looking over towards close is going to find 2, making that fairly easy. He's just covering the hill guy right now as Boinzy's stuck in the lobby, and you see Snakebite realizes this. He has to get over towards Sword, but a pre-nade coming in, and that's what I'm talking about from Back2Classic. You're seeing these great pre-grenades, you're seeing amazing shots, great strafes, just minor positional errors, minor lapses in judgment when it comes to finding the last guy alive. And if you're able to do so, you're able to control the spawns a lot more. And that's the only thing that's missing right now from Back2Classic's game. They're playing this very well, much better than I anticipated. 115 to 66, still anyone's game here. As again, they're just not milking this bottom center hill. They need to get into the Sword area. Hill's moving. Overshield's popping up here soon. Just not the time that they were looking for.
They got the rockets though.
The good thing is though, Onset, is that they didn't let TOX get too much time. So as long as you just negate that hill and just try to set up over towards the side here, you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, this could be devastating though. The rockets though are going to take out APG with that overshield, so that's the biggest thing dealt with nice and quickly here. You can see another player going to be in Sword, shots down on him. And Fatal Ferocity is going to look to find this player. With a Snakebite once again at top gold. And again, you see the importance of this top gold area. 3 players now spawning from TOX Gaming. They can push the street, and Snakebite, he can just hold it here. He's got the sniper rifle. He can watch both of the streets. He can cover his teammates. And again, that 1 player alive at gold for TOX Gaming has completely allowed them to get control back.
Yeah, and Boinzy realizes the situation. He's saying, no one's charging this. I need to be the guy that goes and pushes up. But now you're in a situation where you have Snakebite with the sniper rifle. He's going to be able to watch all the spawns, watch gold, watch the purples as well. He watches back ramp. Now he's just going to rotate on over here. And it's just such a deadly spot to be in with the sniper rifle especially. But they're doing a great job of clearing the players out of closed purple from the lobby area. Nasty snipe coming in from Snakebite. He's looking for some more over towards the close side. Just going to pre-grenade this one. He sees a grenade coming in, so that's going to give the trajectory on where that player is coming from. Nice job by that player staying alive. That's the non-challenge that I'm looking for coming in from these Back2Classic guys. Super heads-up play.
Get aggressive, get in their faces, do not let them settle, and Snipe down now. Going to try and recover that sniper rifle. APG is going to be coming under fire, and this is much better. Look, they're being forced out of gold here. TOX Gaming. Sentinels will be taken down by a nice shot from Snipe down, but unfortunately, again, gold been the priority area here for TOX Gaming to hold down. It's allowed them to push once again. And I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but I mean, sometimes you try and push it, and Snipe down's just there to put you on your back. Landed the beat down there, but it's turned into hill time. 132 to 94 there. And again, as this series goes on, and as this game goes on, oh my word!
Jump right
I was gonna say,
jump right
you gain
there.
confidence, but then Ace destroys it.
Why would you jump right there? That just doesn't make sense. I love this rotation from Little Sandal to go over towards the custom power up. ABG, I don't think he burned that one. Not quite sure, so we'll see. Maybe someone else picked it up behind him, but if you go and your strafe is going to be fine. Like, you just gave him the easiest snipe of his life by jumping right there. Another little lapse of judgment, but down 50 seconds and, you know, getting slaughtered in onslaught flag. kind of got dominated in narrows as well. This is looking really good for these guys. Honestly, they've played this very well. Boinsy, he's definitely been my MVP of this series for sure. Takes out Ace right there. 2 dead right now. Good opportunity to drop into the hill if you can, because Snipetown's located towards bottom center. Make sure you spawn your teammates in the lobby here, because Boinsy should be able to snipe this guy and get him out. Snipetown being fairly annoying, most likely going to lift up close here and try to get the sniper rifle out of his hands, but nobody rotates over towards lobby. Nobody gives the spawns. Everybody over-challenging, over-committing. There was a 2-on-2 situation with top control, with weapons, with rockets coming up. Now you're giving up time. You're giving up control of the map. You're about to give up rockets. Again, just super minor things make a huge difference in this game.
It's kind of that snowball effect, isn't it? That one little mistake, and it really does lead to an escalation of the situation in-game. Boinsy again picking up a kill as Snipetown picks up one low here. Has the sniper rifle as well, 172 to 96. And this is where TOX has started to control things again. As soon as they've got those power weapons in their hands, Snakebite with the rockets. Snipetown, as we just saw, had that sniper rifle as well. They're being made to work. Again, you can see scrapping this hill time once again. He's going to force Snakebite, to drop down and try and do some damage himself. And he's looking for the triple kill there on the player. Jump into R1. It just seems like as soon as that scoreline got a little bit close, Tom, it kind of sparked TOX into life a little bit.
But it's also the mistakes that were being made. I don't even think it was much of TOX turning up. Yes, they're picking up the pace. The communication's probably picking up. That was the best hill that they've had in terms of the bottom center hills. They haven't even done a great job of holding the side hills, but no one's really contesting this overshield right now for Snakebite. He should be able to get it for free, but Boinsy coming in there at the perfect time, and I just love to watch this guy play. Boinsy's been so impressive this series. Sandal 2 is going to be rewarded that overshield, but he has to be careful because he's the first one up the lift. No one's waiting in there, so no assassinations coming in. He realizes that person's in the hill. He's going to clear out the sword area, make sure his back's watched. Snipetown gets beat down right there. The flood is starting to come in. Got to watch out for the nades. APG's over towards the gold side. He has to push gold.
Push gold here. You need to get aggressive on this player. It's happened 3 or 4 times now, and again, APG gets that important kill, allows teammates to respawn. Here comes Snipetown. And it's 3 or 4 times now, 4 or 5 times. You know, you can count it as many times as you want. That simple thing, if you can add it to your game as a team, and you're aware of that, if you're watching right now and you want some tips on Construct Hill, side hills, make sure you kill that last player at gold, or if you're that player at gold, just stay alive.
Anywhere up top, especially over towards gold. I mean, being stuck in the sword area right now isn't even that bad because you're up top. As long as you're not stuck down low or mid-gold, you're in a good situation in this game, but this one really starting to get away from Back2Classic. 2 back-to-back hills being executed very well from TOX Gaming, and you can really just look at some minor spawn mistakes and just not enough aggression when you have numbers. And if you have numbers against a team like this, you're rarely going to be in that situation, but when you are, you need to snowball that. And that's the one thing that was missing from Back2Classic in this game. Unfortunately for them, they're going to lose this around 250 to 111 or 120 or so, but this game was much closer than it looked.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that they've put up a pretty good showing of themselves, especially in this final game. Had some real opportunities to put TOX Gaming under a little bit of pressure, something that they certainly haven't felt so far this tournament. APG with a nice double there, and it is just a formality. A couple of seconds left. There's the triple kill. Game over. Not time for that overkill medal to pop or to find that final player to add to his collection. And TOX Gaming, no surprise. We've seen that banner a few times this weekend, and I'm sure we'll see it a few times more. You know, your match winner, they take the series 3-0.
I don't think Snipetown got the memo. Everyone's wearing black on his team, and he's got to stand out. Mr. White Jersey over here.
Boy.
Has to have his name on the back, too. Come on, man. He's got to have team cohesion. That's why they didn't dominate that series as much.
That's what it is.
Because he's wearing white.
All right,
That's
I
what it
can't
is.
see any other reason.
No, but I think that was just very well played at certain times from Back2Classic, honestly. As we take a look at the stats, what do you know? +1 Boinsy. That's his new gamer tag. But hey, Lil Sandal would drop into 20 assists. Yeah, not the most kills in the world, but definitely helping his teammates out for sure. In 104 seconds in the hill. We talked about this. APG, he's running the objective. He's doing it with Ace. Snipetown and Snakebite really taking that slang role, as you can see, 33, 18, and 13.
Plus 20.
Yeah, plus 20, but again, that game was much closer than we originally thought. They had almost every single hill up into those last 2 hills were even.
Yeah.
You didn't see any crazy setups. This game type is such a lockdown game type, as we were talking about before it started. You would anticipate, you know, a good minute and a half runs coming in, We didn't see that until the very final hill. And honestly, I just think that Back2Classic ran out of gas as the rest of the guys from TOX really starting to pick it up.
Yeah, you do see that a lot against these top teams as well. That's kind of first 15, 20 kills or, you know, moments in game, say it's a Slayer, kind of tightly contested. And then when you see, for example, a round of power weapons, which is what we saw when they got hold of that sniper rifle, when we got hold of that rockets, that's where these top teams really do put them to use. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. It's one thing to acquire a weapon, it's another thing to put it into use and to make the most use of it and make it effective. So there is your series layout. You can see it there. It was a 3-0. It was convincing. However, Back2Classic certainly have some things to be proud of themselves in that particular series. And I think it's also going to maybe just spread a little bit of positivity through some of the top tier, the more elite European teams who are at the tournament as well.
No doubt about it. There's so many things that could have went wrong in that series, and really didn't see anything that was sticking out. There was, like you said, power weapon control was really important. They didn't just give up power weapon control that easily. They just had times where they didn't collapse on that last guy alive or the last 2 guys alive, and you have to win those battles as the weapons are coming up, because that's when it's going to snowball the most. So I saw some really great things from these guys on the Back2Classic. A lot of things, like you were saying, that they can go and take forward and move forward. Like right there, over-challenge that. You know, APG, go for him. You just hit the 2 shots. If you get that triple kill, that's going to fire up your team so much, and that's going to not only do that, that's going to clear out all of gold, because APG killed 2 more people after that. So look how close this was. 86-64. We're 5 minutes into that game, and you only have TOX putting up 86 seconds. We saw them get 71 seconds within the first
I was going to say, I
minute
love
and a
how
half.
they put the pressure back onto them with that bottom hill as well. I think, you know, they kept it scrappy. They didn't allow TOX to get that simple time on the bottom hill. Yeah, side hill sometimes difficult to break. We understand that 30 to 40 seconds can be racked up, but that bottom hill, you can keep it scrappy. You really can put pressure back onto your opponent.
But you saw Little Sandal turns his back towards the 3 people over close side purple. It's crazy to me that they don't know that 3 people are top gold right there. So that's a huge problem. And going up 1 by 1 over towards the gold lift, yes, he gets this kill right here, but he's going to be cleaned up. That's not the strategy. You already had hillside over towards the closed area. Take your time. Go up the sword leg. Go up closed where you know that it's safe. Go up open side. So again, play the numbers. Play the aggression game. Don't be aggressive when you don't have the advantages. That doesn't make sense. Be aggressive when you have the advantages. So that's the one thing I really want Back2Classic to focus on the rest of this tournament.
A lot of that can be down to communication, etc. Just saying, you know, 1 down, push, example. Something as simple as that really can be added to this team's game. But I think Back2Classic might, you know, now dropping down to the losers bracket, of course, might cause a few upsets. They could be certainly a team to watch, and I'm sure they will take an incredible amount of confidence, to be honest with you, from that series. But now we're actually going to head down to the floor, because APG, one of the world's smiliest men, Tom, well, it's morning and he's down there for an interview. Let's check it out.
Thank you so much. I'm here with the winner, APG. Brad, congrats, mate. First of all, why were you guys late today?
I guess I'll take the blame. I was the last one to eat breakfast, but we thought we started 15 minutes later than we actually did, so, I mean, we still got here on time.
You almost started dropping maps, but it's fine. You guys won 3-0 in the end. Talk to me about that series. Were they a little bit tougher maybe than you expected?
I'd say the second game, they were tougher than we expected just because their play styles were a little bit passive. But no, we just kind of played them how we thought we would. We don't really know who they are, but we just got the job done.
And lastly, any advice you would give to them? Obviously, they put up a good fight, as you said, in Game 2, narrow Slayer. Anything else they did right maybe that or wrong that they could potentially improve on in the future?
Don't challenge as much. I literally said that at Game 3 because they just kept on. It's like they just wanted to kill us. Just play it as a team. Work together, shoot the same thing. You don't got to out-BR people to make a name for yourself.
Awesome. APG, thank you so much. No doubt we'll see you later on in the bracket. Guys at home, please stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have more Halo 3 action at the FACEIT Halo European Open.